What's up, guys?
Howdy, brothers.
Welcome back to another motherfucking episode of Whiskey and Water. I'm repping today. I got my shirt on.
And we are back with the bi-weekly. I hope you guys missed us last week.
Yeah, I hope you guys really thought about it in your sleep, thought about it when you're driving your car, and you're like, oh, I really wish that they released an episode this week.
A girl can dream, right?
Anyways, we are back and better, and I gotta say, you guys, even if you don't love this whole bi-weekly thing,
we do.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but I just feel like we're showing up better already. Like, I felt good coming today and sitting down and doing this. I didn't feel drained.
Yeah.
And I was excited to sit down and catch up with the brothers.
And we have a good amount to catch up on, which is nice too, because when it's every week, it's like, sometimes our lives aren't that fun.
We're like, what more could we share?
We've already shared what needed to be shared.
They know everything about our lives. But anyways, today we are going to basically do like a long form catch up. Squirt. And there's just a lot to kind of fill you guys in on in regards to our personal lives, because we know you guys love the tea, and our, the course launching, the agency we have some updates about, just some life lessons that we've come to realize these past few months.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting start to 2023. It's presented its challenges, and we've also just kind of gone through a lot, with the course and with mood and our personal lives, and some fun decisions have been made. So we're gonna fill you guys in.
So we're gonna catch up with you guys, but before we get into that, let's do our segments, our high and low, and our pro tip.
Let's do pro tip first.
Okay. You want to kick it off?
Okay. I have a quote. So I'll do my quote. You can do your pro tip, and then I'm going to do my actual pro tip.
Okay.
Because I feel like the quote I just want to share.
Okay, yeah.
This is where else am I going to share it?
Love that.
And it's what Paloma told us yesterday.
Okay, love that.
And the quote is that a new broom sweeps clean. And it really made me think for a second. I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that?
And she said it so casually. She was like, a new broom sweeps, and we were like, what?
Wait, no, run that
we
back.
asked her to say it 3 times because we're like, what are you saying?
Yeah. And it was just really interesting because, one, I had never heard that before.
Me either.
And
she's like, I can't take credit. It's my ex-boyfriend's dad.
Thank you to a much older Jewish man.
We also can't take credit, but thank you to her ex-boyfriend's dad.
Yes.
Our friends.
And it was just really interesting. And I feel like it can be applied to a lot in life.
Yeah.
Whether that's with a new employee, and a new employee is always going to be on top of their shit, or a new relationship, a new broom is always going to sweep clean. So I thought that was really interesting. And even friendships too. You meet someone, you're like, holy shit, this person's so fucking cool. I need to hang out with them more, blah, 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 blah. And then you kind of start to realize they've got their shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's all good until it's not,
exactly.
know? Which, it's not the most uplifting, positive message.
Yeah, but I think it's a good reminder.
It's a good reminder to not get, I think, lost in the sauce of something,
Yeah, and also to understand that things need a little bit more time. You can't expect maybe things to be like that all the time, or you can kind of gauge where you're at with someone based on okay, well we're still in let me not romanticize what's happening right now type of thing.
Heard. Okay, so my pro tip, I think I've given this pro tip before, but I actually was out to dinner with a friend last night, and I found myself giving her this advice, and basically she was just trying to navigate, her relationship, and she felt like she just really wasn't having a good grasp on her thoughts and her feelings, and she had so many contradicting things and so many factors to consider about the relationship. And I was like, have you written any of this down? Have you journaled about this? Have you written a list? And she's like, no.
Brain dump.
A brain dump, yeah. So you call it a pro and con list, call it a brain dump, call it journaling, whatever you want to call it. It's just the act of getting everything in your brain onto paper and just word vomiting onto paper. I don't know why this is so helpful and how it works, but I just know the times that I have felt like I've needed to have really hard, big conversations with the people closest in my life. That's what I did, and it always helps me just gather my thoughts, helps me put things into perspective, helps me kind of realize what actually is the problem here or why I'm actually feeling a certain type of way. Like, and a lot of times it'll make me realize, oh, I'm actually not even upset about that. The bigger picture is that I'm upset about this, or that this made me feel this way. So that's my biggest pro tip, is that, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're struggling with, get it onto paper. It doesn't matter what format it's in, but I promise it will help you kind of just organize your thoughts and put everything in one place. Like, our brains just aren't capable of organizing things like that. And like, I'm a visual person. I need to see things visually and not just try to see it in my brain. So yeah, if you're struggling, that is my best piece of advice.
I love that, and I think that rings so true. Anytime I feel like I have too much going on in my brain, I feel like the first thing I need to do is just get a pen to paper.
Yeah.
Whatever happens after, like, just happens. And it doesn't even have to be, pro and con list or whatever. Like, it can just be words on a page. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to feel pretty.
Doesn't have to make sense to anyone, literally.
Yeah. And you can literally toss it right after. Like, you don't need to keep it. You don't need to reflect on it. Sometimes you just need to get it out there. But my more tactical pro tip, which is something that I kind of got off TikTok, but I'm a self-tan girly. I love self-tanning. And I just always feel hotter when I'm tan. Like, I feel like infinitely. I'm like, wow, I'm actually gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. But I had noticed that, like, my tan, when I would shave, like, I would exfoliate and shave, like, right the night before. And then I realized I was getting all these, like, dark spots, like, in my bikini line. And I realized that you can't shave, like, the day before or, like, the day of, because then it gets into those pores. And that's what is giving the illusion that, like, you have a bunch of dark spots. And the same goes for your armpits, like any of those, like, really porous, like, thick hair, coarse hair areas. So you need to shave either like a day or two before to give, like, the hair a day to grow back and to fill that pore. And yeah, I know, it's kind of gross. But whatever, I self-tanned last night, and I wasn't freshly shaved. And I don't have any of those, like, bumps or, like, and it looks so ugly when it's like that.
Yeah.
And it, like, makes you not want to wear a bikini. But yeah, pro tip.
Trial and error.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's actually really great advice for someone who is an avid self-tanner.
Yeah.
The lessons learned. Okay.
Things you learn with age.
Yeah. Okay, let's do our high and low.
Okay.
I'll start. My low is that my passport didn't come in time.
This is my low too.
And the girls are going to Cabo tomorrow without me.
Dude, I'm heartbroken. I had a dream about this 2 weeks ago where I was so sad because she didn't get her passport, and maybe I was just telling the future. But yeah, I was so sad.
I came to terms with both options playing out, like, weeks ago when I was like, okay, I did the math. I'm like, oh, if expedited passport is 3 to 5 weeks, I'm lucky if it comes in 3, and that's still like 2 days before they leave. So I already came to terms with both, and I'm okay not spending $1,300 on the flight, and that is, thank God, like, that's the only thing getting me through, because if not, I would be extremely heartbroken. But yeah, so I'll be living vicariously through their stories, and I'll be there in spirit.
You know what? I really do think that everything happens for a reason, and not to say that, like, maybe, like, we would have gotten in a really bad fight on this trip.
And we would have broken up.
Yeah, well, that's not possible. But you know what I mean? Like, maybe I needed this trip, like, without my emotional support.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe this is good for, what's the word?
Like, codependency, like our codependency.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think on the bright side. Like, there's a reason. You know, like, there's a reason this is happening.
Yeah, so I can stay home and do my laundry.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe this is, like, maybe a chill weekend at home is, like, going to serve you better.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You guys, I'll probably be reporting back next week and be like, guys.
Never doing that ever again.
Yeah, some shit like that. Like, thank God Olivia wasn't there, because it would have been even worse. So, okay, my low. My low is that your girl's going through a little bit of a breakup. And this is why I didn't tell you guys.
In the first place.
Yeah. Liv was like, do you want to update? I'm like, no. We'll just leave that until there's a ring on my finger, and the brothers won't know about it.
Yeah, it didn't get there.
It didn't
quite get there.
But
that's okay.
Did he move in with me? Oh, yeah. He was there, but not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like half foot in, foot out.
Yeah, so that's been really rough. And I'll talk about that more in the episode, but that's definitely been my low. It's been extremely hard. So, yeah, that's my low. Let's go into the highs.
The high is that I have two highs. I have like a professional high and then I have a life personal high. My professional high is that I locked in my first 6-month partnership ever.
Ski you.
In my career, which is crazy, and it's great because we literally said for this year we want to focus more on long-term partnerships and really prioritize that more than these like one-off things. And I'm super happy. It's with a brand I've worked with before, Avocado Mattress. We both have their mattresses. We are obsessed.
So good.
Because they're like all organic.
I'm a ride or die. Actually, I was showing my friend at dinner the avocado mattress last night.
They're sustainably sourced. Like, it's just
this
a
isn't
brand.
An ad.
It's a brand that we both really love, and believe in. So to the fact that I locked in a great partnership with them, actually, we'll take this moment. We'll take this moment and do a little deep dive for you guys. We haven't done a deep dive in a while, so let me tell you about this partnership. 6 months, Avocado Mattress. We decided, we agreed on 1 reel and 3 content creation images and whitelisting for the month for a total of $2,800.
That's crazy.
So $500 for whitelisting per month, and then for the reel and 3 lifestyle images, what's the math on that? $2,300.
Fire.
So yeah, great.
That is such a great reel.
And it was we was 23 and we negotiated the whitelisting, so I got it even higher. And that's for 6 months. And it's beautiful, you love to see it. And the craziest part about all of this is that I was so late on my deliverables for them the last time we worked together, and I was like, they're never gonna want to work with me again. And here we are. I don't know why. I'm not asking questions, but I'm thankful. So that's my personal high, and that's my professional high. My personal high is that we did go to Magic Mike Live again last weekend, and we just had the best time again. You guys, you have to. They're closing out. They're leaving earlier than they thought they were. They're leaving at the end of this month, being February. So if you want to get tickets, actually, when is this? Oh, this is airing after my giveaways being announced Friday. But if you guys want to get tickets, highly recommend it. It is such a fun girls' night. We ended up going out in Wynwood after to like a bar we know and love at the Freehold, and we danced literally all night.
Look at this bruise on my foot.
Like,
actually,
my feet were throbbing the next day. I had no voice, and it just wow.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's from my I think, I don't know if someone stepped on me,
but
went
hard.
We were going so hard.
We did not leave the dance floor, and like that, if I go out, like that's all I'm going out to do. I'm going out to fucking dance, like for no other reason. So we just had such a fun night.
So good. And Truman was in town.
Yeah, our friend Truman, our friend Tamir, and it was just nice because like I don't get out often. So when I do and like have that much fun, I'm like, oh, it was worth it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It was a good time.
It's a great time. My high is that I am going to Cabo tomorrow, even though Olivia's not joining.
Yay! You're gonna have so much fun.
I know. I'm really excited, and I've been saving like so many fun TikToks to do, and I know it's gonna be a really great content trip, and I'm excited for that. And
make sure you get some like R&R in too.
100%. And like I'm bringing my book, and I just think it'll be. And we have so much fun stuff planned, like beach club. We're trying to do a yacht day, like. Very excited. I think, and obviously, like, fresh off of a fucking breakup, what do? Cabo.
Cabo!
And that's on period. But
so
I think that's, like, exactly what I need.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be, like, the perfect, girl time, feminine energy, that like the healing energy that I need in my life.
And it's like a group of like close girlfriends who we've known for years.
And so I can be so vulnerable with.
Yeah, it's not like anyone new who doesn't know,
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
So that's my high.
Yay. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start updating y'all on like the good stuff.
So we figured that we would start our little long catch up with the personal. Let's get personal.
Yeah.
Let's get personal. And yeah, a lot's been going on in the personal sphere, unfortunately. I wish there was less going on. I wish it was a little bit more neutral. But no losses, just lessons. And we stand by that.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of piggyback off of what I was saying in my low, I am dealing with a bit of a breakup situation, and that's like never fun. You know?
Y'all, it is breakup season. I don't know about you guys, but like we know so many like long-term couples that are going through a breakup right now, and it's just like bizarre. Keeps happening.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. If it's part of like the new year, but like
I think women are just becoming more woke and not settling.
And as they fucking should.
Yeah.
But it's slim fucking pickings out here for the bitches that know their worth, honestly. Because men are just not living up to the standard that I have in my head. But yeah, where, I'm going through this breakup and it's not fun. And, he does live with me. Or, he moved into my place. Like, he just kind of came in and it made sense at the time and whatever. Again, just lessons learned. I definitely don't think that I'll be doing that again, especially as quickly as I kind of allowed it. But I'm glad that I did, because I think that it, opened my eyes to how, it wasn't right for, me or us at this time. And, there's not really a ton of bad blood. There's definitely been hurt, just as there is with any breakup. No breakup is the pure breath of fresh air that you want it to be, although that is an aspect to it. There's still a lot of pain involved, a lot of hurt, a lot of tears, and it's been really difficult. And he's still here. Luckily, his ass is outside somewhere. But yeah.
He's sleeping outside all day on a little mattress outside that she put out there for him.
I should have done that, if we're being honest. I'm honestly just such a nice, kind, and generous person. But yeah, he's gonna be leaving and moving all of his stuff out while I'm in Cabo. And yeah, we're ending on, pretty amicable terms, but again, it is just really difficult. And it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm hoping that there isn't this like weight over me while I'm in Cabo, like kind of thinking about it. Cause he's obviously, he's gonna drop me off at the airport, and that'll be like the last time that I see him for a long time. And that just sucks. Yeah, like regardless of, what we've gone through, when you love someone, like, you're just connected to that person. And of course, like, he lives with me. So it's like, he's part of my routine. He's part of, I'm grieving that future. I'm grieving this relationship. I'm grieving the person that I, kind of basically thought that they were, and the future that I thought I was going to have. And it was one that I was really excited for, and was kind of like long overdue. It was like, I felt like I finally like found my person, and the person that was going to like treat me the way that I deserved and that I was like really aligned with. And you know what? Like, it's okay. Like, life showed me that, it wasn't as aligned as I thought. And it really is for the better, because obviously like there's a way better fit for me out there. I am the one who broke it off. So, that's, at least I kind of had that, like, at least, he's not staying here, and, he broke up with me and my heart is fucking shattered. Like, of course my heart hurts, but, it ultimately is a decision that I came to, simply because I know my worth, and this person wasn't showing up for me in the way that I deserve, and a way that they promised that they would, and how they had originally shown up in, the first few months of our relationship. And that's cool, but like, you fuck around, you find out. And
what would you say your biggest takeaways from this? Because I know we were talking the other day just about, how you have no regrets, and you're like glad you did it because you're like taking valuable lessons away from it.
You know what? I mean, it's really just to listen to my fucking gut. My gut. And God, I hope he doesn't fucking listen to this. I don't think he will, because why the fuck would he? We're breaking up for a reason. There's zero effort there. But I would say that I need to listen to my gut. There was small signs from the beginning that I was trying to overlook, because I was like, damn, I'm being way too picky. Like, I'm being nitpicky about like stupid shit. And maybe that's the case, but I knew deep down that it was a possibility that they could become deal breakers down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say I'm alive. That's how I was to the red flags. That's how I was. Not even the TikTok trend, the SZA song, if we're keeping it a buck. So I would say that is my biggest lesson learned. Like, my gut was telling me, she was speaking to me and I was ignoring her. So
as we do.
And I think that, you know, our intuition is truly like our superpower. And I learned a lot from this relationship. You know, I learned a lot about myself and like the way that I love and even other people and how I kind of approach things. And also just, it was really liberating standing up for myself as kind of quickly as I did. And, you know, like as soon as it started getting, you know, less than what I feel like I deserve and, you know, what I'm not willing to settle for, I, you know, brought it to their attention and was basically like, you have the opportunity right now to step up if you're going to choose not to, or if you're going to continue to, you know, go down this path, like, just know that it'll be a solo trip because I'm not joining you. That is a one-way ticket to get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, and I'm proud of you for that too. It's not easy.
Yeah, and it was extremely difficult. And I realized I've never broken up with someone. And that it was so hard to break up with him. Like, I feared hurting him, and obviously, like, it's just scary to do that. And, like, I don't really take things I say in relationships lightly at all. Like, if I understand that there's things that you can't take back. As someone who's been broken up with, like, a million times, like, you know, there's certain things that you can't heal from. So I knew if I was going to say it that it was it.
Yeah.
And so that was really, really scary, and, you know, my first time ever doing that, and I am proud of myself for that because it feels like I bit the bullet a little bit, and now it you know, it's not as scary as it feels it's going to be. And well, he didn't even cry, so it was great. It worked out well.
So, yeah, you had nothing to worry about.
Who am I hurting? He doesn't even care.
He had nothing to worry about. Well,
drama.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really proud of you, and I think a lot of people just stay in situations because they feel like they don't want to necessarily, like, give up on it. But in a lot of ways, like, if you don't give up on the relationship, you're giving up on yourself.
100%. Like, I realized that I was doing myself a disservice.
Yeah.
And, like, if someone's not adding to you, like, every single day, and, like, he had brought up one point, like, he's like, why are you relying on me for your happiness? And I was like, no, you got me so fucked up. I'm so happy, like, outside of this relationship. It's this relationship that's weighing my happiness down. I don't rely on you for my happiness. I'm so happy. My life is fucking fantastic. You're just bringing me down because,
you're
like,
taking the happiness away.
Yeah, because you're not showing up in these certain ways. And of course, like, you know, our unhappiness is based on perception and expectation. And, you know, he kind of pointed that out and he was like, well, I'm just not meeting this expectation you have in your head. And I was like, I feel like I'm being gaslit because, like, we should have expectations.
Yeah.
We should have.
It's, like, normal to have expectations for everything we do.
Like, you know, it's fucked up to be like, well, you know, just because I cheated on you, this isn't what happened, but, like, it's fucked, you know, to use a drastic, you know, example, it's to be like, well, you're only upset because, like, you have the expectation that I'm not supposed to cheat on you. And it's like, well, yeah, motherfucker, you're not supposed to cheat on me. And it's like, you know, in this sort of situation that I experienced, it was like I wasn't feeling loved and I wasn't even feeling liked or appreciated or valued. And it's like, yeah, when you don't say thank you for something that I've, like, done or gone out of my way to do and I don't feel valued, like, I'm not making myself upset there. Like, I'm choosing to be upset because I feel like I should be upset because I know what I deserve and it's someone that values me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of, like, a really hard thing to navigate. And not to say that I was, like, getting manipulated because I do feel like he had reasons for everything and he's just a much more, like, neutral person and sees things from a much more logical and rational lens. But it made me realize that that's not what I need. I need someone who is deeply empathetic and deeply loving and deeply caring and can meet me and my emotional ass where I need it.
Yeah.
And not just, you know, be cold and be like, well, you shouldn't feel like that.
Be, like, a little robotic.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, you know, those are kind of, like, my takeaways from that.
Yeah. I'm proud. It's not easy to do. It's a bittersweet thing. And like you said, it's, you know, mourning the future, although it was, like, short-lived, it still is very exciting, you know, when you have high hopes for something. But it's so worth it in the end to, like, choose you.
Yeah.
You know?
And, like, again, my life is so beautiful, you know, in every other aspect that I knew that I would just feel so much lighter and so much better if it was only me that I had to look out for and take
Yeah,
care of, and
right.
and my emotional, roller coaster is completely up to me, and how I choose to perceive things throughout life, versus like having someone in my space who is kind of unfortunately like conducting things for me.
Yeah.
And affecting me. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm excited for him to move out.
Yeah, cheers to that. Cheers to putting yourself first, and you're gonna have the best time in Cabo, and it's like exactly what you need.
Yeah, and again, I mean, although I am excited for, this new chapter, that doesn't mean that I'm not like mourning, the relationship. And of course I love and I care very deeply, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but it is for the best, and I still love and care about that person very much.
Yep, that's life, brothers. The highs and lows, the ebbs and flows. The only really personal catch up I have is that I pushed back my wedding like 6 months, which is, I guess, kind of a big deal, but I just needed more time to plan. And since it is like a destination wedding, there's just a lot more coordinating in details and whatnot. So we pushed it back. It was supposed to be in October, and I think we're looking at like a March 2024 now. So I'm happy about that. I have less anxiety thinking about planning, and yeah, I'm excited to start finding out some tuning out some details, and getting a little bit better of an idea of what my wedding is gonna look like. So that's really update for me.
She's cuddling Nugget right now. I'm also excited for that because it's long overdue.
So
I'm ready to party.
I know, it's so overdue. All right, other than that, some like personal kind of collaborations or just personal like influencing stuff aside from like our projects together. We mentioned before how we want to transition more into like higher quality, better brands, like longer term
bitches, better money,
longer term partnerships. And I think that's a really great move for us. We're at the point in our influencing journeys where we've just been doing it for so long, and the one-off partnerships, although they're great and it is a great way for us to find like new products and brands that we like and love, and you have to start a relationship from somewhere, they're just really not like resonating with me or us as much as they did in the past. And I think like at this point I am looking for more depth in these partnerships, and I really like care a lot more about who I'm partnering with and like what their values are, and if they're a genuine part of my life, and I think the beauty of what we have going on with like the agency and now the course is that our full income won't be primarily from our partnerships, and that's gives us the privilege of being able to turn down things, which in the past we've been a little more hesitant on, because we're like, yeah, this is our livelihood, like this pays our bills, we really have to be careful with what we're turning down. But yeah, we're finally getting to a place with the course and like having some other income streams where we can say no, and we can really kind of focus on these higher quality partnerships. Like in January, I didn't do one collaboration. And like the me a year ago would have been freaking out about that. But the me last month was just like welcoming it and allowing space for other things to happen and unfold in my life. And I just did not panic at all. Obviously, that's like a privileged stance. Like I'm lucky that I'm in a position where I don't have to panic about that. But even if the year before I still was in a position where I didn't have to panic, I still just mentally would be. Like, I would be like,
it would be in the back of your head.
I would be like getting on my own ass. Like, why aren't I waiting on any partnerships to come in? How come nothing is pending? How come I'm not in talks? And I totally was just like, I'm growing up and I'm becoming wiser because I'm not letting this affect me. I know I'm good. I have my own relationship with money, and I'm very like, I would say I'm not frugal. It's always something that's been in the back of my head. I think just growing up with a struggling single mom, like I've always just been a little worried about money naturally, even when I don't need to be. So I think like last month even was just a really good challenge for me to just like trust that I'm good, trust that I have savings, worst case scenario. Like,
I wish you guys...
I'm good.
I wish you guys knew what this woman had in savings.
I'm good.
Because she like
I don't need to stress.
She really just does not. Like, I don't have a single penny to my name.
You guys, we are whiskey and water for fucking reason.
It's so true. Like, thank God this bitch told me to get a Roth IRA back in... Thank God Ed told you to get a Roth IRA, and then I was like, you know what? I feel like I should probably do that because thank God, like I have that like worst case scenario. Like you're not even supposed to touch that or like even pretend like it happens. But worst case scenario, I have that. Aside from that, though, this bitch has so much in savings. She'll be like, I know I shouldn't eat out this week, and I'm like, if I had what you had, like you, I would only eat out. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and then
she's really good at pretending that like the savings don't exist. Though,
yeah,
which I feel like is the kind of key to that.
Like to me, if it's not in my checkings, I don't have it.
Yeah. The thing is, what the issue with that is I can see it in my, like, when I log in.
I am still driving a paid-off 2014 Hyundai Elantra with one manual key that only opens the driver's side door and gets stuck every time I try to open it. Because I don't want a car payment.
See, I'm driving a brand new Bronco Sport, and I'm like, I want to get rid of it for something a little nicer.
Jess is like, the way I would buy a Range Rover. And I'm like, see, I'm just still rocking the Elantra.
Yeah, 100%. But, like,
so
I think it really comes down to how you were raised, and, like, I was raised with parents that, like, impulse bought
got money in
cars, like, anytime they got into, like, a fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that really, like, kind of goes to show, the difference in that, and you're kind of going off on a tangent, but like learning financial literacy is so important, and it's still something that I'm like figuring out to this day. And I feel like I find myself in this season of my life caught in between a rock and a hard place of people being like, you need to spend money because if not, you're in a
scarcity mindset,
and like whatever you spend will come back to you tenfold. And you make money to spend money, like you want to enjoy what you have, and like life is short kind of mentality. And then there's also things that I see of like, just because you're making more money doesn't mean you need to spend more money or like increase your expenses, which I've always increased my expenses as soon as I've made more money because I think it motivates me to make more money. But then I find myself in like a tighter spot than I would like to be, and I'm like, damn, if I just lived a little bit more conservatively. But then it's like, what's the point of living conservatively
when you could die tomorrow?
And when you have money, it's just like this really weird place, and I find myself like constantly arguing in my head. And I think that everyone will kind of find out their own rhythm. But personally, I feel like that rhythm is just going to be like me becoming a millionaire and figuring it out then. I don't know.
I don't know. I just have this feeling. Yeah, but anyways, that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm kind of being patient with that because those relationships do take longer to build. So I'm just like chilling, being patient, putting the work and time in to, negotiate those longer partnerships. Oh, and other than that, I booked a consultation with a social media coach. Her name is Claire. She's kind of big on TikTok, and I've just been watching her TikToks, and I've been thinking about it for a while, but she does these one-on-one consultation calls, and I actually have it today, so I'm very excited because I think it's just really helpful. We just create so much content for so many different types of platforms and have so many projects that we're sharing about on all different platforms that it's like I would love to just hear an outsider's perspective from a professional and see just what their insight is on how the type of content I'm making, the things I want to personally lean more into, but then I'm scared because I feel like it won't be profitable enough. For example, I would love to lean more into wholesome content, but then I'm like, ooh, my audience doesn't really resonate with my wholesome content. So I think it's just gonna be good. I have a long list of questions I want to ask her about, so I'm excited for that.
I'm so excited that you're doing that because
and it's an investment, and I feel like I rarely make investments in myself. It was $200 for an hour-long call, and
that's a long call. I mean, that's you're gonna be able to.
It's good. It's an investment in myself. Yeah, and I'm excited about it. And another update is that we hired another assistant. Haha! Surprise!
Adding into the Rolodex of our 10 assistants.
Yeah, we hired another assistant. This one we're super, super excited about because she is a dedicated content creation assistant.
She is such a cutie.
And this is something that started as a whisper. We always talk to you guys, the OG brothers know we often talk about these whispers. They're just little kind of almost subconscious thoughts in the back of our heads. And this is something that started as a whisper for both of us kind of at the same time. And then we communicated it, and Jess was like, wait, no, because I literally have been thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I've just been thinking because of the agency and the course and everything we've had going on, we've almost neglected the thing that makes us money, which is our Instagram partnerships and TikTok and whatever, and just growing on those platforms. Like
being highly intentional.
Being intentional, showing up every day, creating content consistently and not just like once a week,
doing our best,
or
like throwing shit together,
batching 5 things once every 2 weeks. Like we're just kind of it kind of ends up being on the back burner. And I think having this content creation assistant where she's literally like, we were like, we need to just be pumping out content. Like,
I mean, we have so much like video content, like, and just like so much to talk about, so much to do that isn't being repurposed into these like really fun trends and like things of that nature that like we would love to participate in and that resonate with us, and like our content that would be like we would love to share. We just don't have the time to like sit down and take an hour to edit something, and make it, align with the music and align with the trend and add the text. Like, it's so time consuming.
It is extremely time consuming. And like we're good about recording everything. Like we pretty much have we have so much just B-roll, extra footage. Everything we do that we're like, oh, this is a good content moment, we'll record it, but then it'll just sit in our camera roll and we won't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I need to just maybe I need to have edit days where I go through all the footage from the last week or two and I just straight out like make these concepts, make these trends, make content with the footage I have. And then that's kind of escalated into what if we just have like an assistant that we could delegate this to. So yeah, the idea came to just delegate. And I feel like it's a common theme for us is like we'll struggle with something and then we'll realize we can delegate it and then we make a system for delegating it. So who knows, maybe content creation assistant course coming soon.
Yeah. But we're really excited, and it couldn't be a more perfect fit. Like, she's just,
she's a brother.
She's a brother. She listens.
Shout out Hillary.
And yeah, we're just really excited. It seems like such a good fit, and she's so on top of it. She's so bright, and so yeah, we're really excited.
And the great thing is, like, the content you make is performing while you're just going about your day and doing other things. So, like, in my head, I'm like, if something could just get posted in the morning that I'm not even aware of, while I'm working on the agency, while I'm working on the course, while I'm recording the podcast, that could be blowing up, that could be growing my audience, and that could be securing me higher partnership deals.
Exactly.
Like, why are we...
building our brand, building our community, storytelling about, like, our life. Yeah. Whatever it may be.
And I feel like it's just a good way to leverage, ourselves and our time. And it's like looking at like, okay,
it's a direct ROI.
What's going to have the most return on our time and money invested? And like, that makes sense. Like more content.
Yeah.
More content.
Aside from that, the course is, 2 weeks post-launch now, I think, right?
Is it 2 weeks?
I think it's about 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
And that's just been crazy. It's been a whirlwind. And we kind of like, we chilled out for a little bit once it got launched because we were like, okay, we just need to take a fucking breather.
I'm still chilling.
Yeah, I know. And we are. And Anna is in Guatemala right now doing her vegan food tour. So, it's kind of hard. She doesn't have like super access to Wi-Fi. So we've all just been kind of taking a beat, taking a breather, focusing on our other shit. And then we're going to kind of like get back into it.
Yeah.
But we
had such a successful pre-launch, and
we were so happy with how it turned out.
We're so happy with it. We're so happy with, the students and already getting testimonials back and experiences back and already having like pairing influencers with assistants and securing jobs. And it's so exciting. And I can't wait. Like I am letting ourselves just like take this time to breathe and just chill for a second, but I also am looking forward to like getting back into it, diving back in,
re-strategizing, what's next,
thinking about our marketing. Like we have our email marketing emails going out, and that's like on a pretty consistent basis, but I really want to sit down and brainstorm like, okay, what's next for us? How can we market this? How can we like extend our outreach to even more people?
Yeah. Maybe start running ads.
Exactly. So it's just been so great. I'm so proud of what we've put out there, and it's come with its own challenges. This is like we said on other episodes, this is the first time we've ever made a course. Like we did not know what we were doing, but I am so confident about the value provided in it, and
we've gotten just such great reviews from people who like are just genuinely like over the moon with what they've learned and the new skill set that they have and the jobs that they're getting, like the opportunities that are getting presented to them. Like it really is incredible. And we always keep it a buck, and there's a couple people who haven't been like fully satisfied with the course, and that's really hard because
it's our baby,
and it's hard not to take that personally. And some of it we you can't take it personally because really at the root of a couple of these, of the negative feedback, it feels kind of just like they regretted paying whatever they paid, or, like they kind of want their money back, and, they're kind of making personal attacks at that point. Like, we had a girl, to, be like, and we're just, keeping it real with you guys, but, she was essentially saying, oh, well, you guys are influencers, so I'm really sure that you respect your reputation, and kind of, threatened to, slander our reputation.
Or, run it. We have the receipts.
Exactly. And you know what? It kept me up last night, because I was like, fuck. I just felt so shitty about it. And it really upset me that someone, either, I guess, feels so strongly about it, but it's also we're such level-headed, reasonable, logical, kind people. We know what's fair.
Yeah.
We always know what's fair. Yeah. We have 4 sounding boards with Michaela, who's doing the customer service for Socially Ambitious, that I'm really confident with how we're dealing with these things. So for someone to come back and kind of try to bully us and, try to, threaten to slander us, it really does hurt, but that's just the territory, unfortunately.
It's the nature of what we're doing. We're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. No matter what you put out, there will always be some aspect of negative feedback.
And when so many people are buying the course, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that aren't, 100% sold on it. But, again, we know what we stand for, and we know what we've put into this, and we know exactly, we've been so transparent with the marketing. And, just being honest, we're not in this game to take anyone's money. We're in this game to change lives, and that really is so true for us.
Yeah,
so
it's our why, and what we're looking forward to most out of anything is actually giving people, the fact that we're giving people jobs and can get them out of a job that they hate and exchange it for one that they love and enjoy. The exact recipe that happened with Anna, that we can replicate, that is the best feeling. That's all we've ever wanted to do. Even with the podcast, we've been here telling y'all that you are totally capable of changing your life and changing your scenario and working on your personal development and personal growth. We've been preaching this
for the last 3
years. So it's we aren't in the game of trying to scam people. We're in the game of trying to make people's lives better.
Yeah.
And I think we'll literally send the girl our podcast episode and be like, hey, we're human. We're not just some business
we're not shitty influencers out to take your money. That's not why we're doing this. This isn't a money grab to us. This is so I hate to say personal for us, but it is, because we're so passionate about it. So, these things come with their ups and downs.
Yeah.
Up and downs. And we just want to keep it real with you guys always. I mean, obviously,
because things like this is what people fear, and this is what holds them back from starting a business or launching a course or starting a podcast, is the negative feedback, is the judgment. And we're here to tell you that we're receiving it too. And it comes with the territory. No matter what you ever do, someone will have something fucking negative to say about it, and you just have to ask yourself, keep it real with yourself. We always, when we get any sort of criticism, we ask we keep our egos in check. We're okay, are we getting defensive? Are our egos trying to stand in the way of this? Do they genuinely have a point? It's always good to be real with yourself and
use it as a learning opportunity, right?
Use it as a learning opportunity, and just know that it comes. That doesn't mean you should give up. That doesn't mean you should stop doing what you're doing. It doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't fantastic. It probably is. Just know someone will always have something negative to say or be unhappy or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I think that I'm really thankful that of all the people who have bought, we've only received 2 negative feedbacks.
Yeah,
of everyone.
The 95% of positive, happy, this is changing my life feedback
is enough to keep us going.
Totally outweighs the negative, and that's if you guys take anything away from this, it's gonna be that the positive will outweigh the negative. You just have to choose to look at that side.
Yeah, 100%.
And don't dwell on the negative side, and don't get in your head about it. Don't overthink it, and just know it comes with the territory. Expect it. Because it's going to happen.
100%. And it'll happen with any business. For us, that's what we're experiencing right now for SOAM is, people wanting their money back and whatever, and, calling out these little things. But, when it was with Mood, when we first launched Mood, I remember we had a client who was super upset with the images that we delivered. And we that we know in our hearts, and we know like we have incredible like work ethic and work values and morals, and we know that we would never deliver something that we felt wasn't perfectly aligned with what that person had asked for, or and you know like but like again, although we did exactly what they asked for and followed their mood board like shot by shot, they were still upset. And you know what? We ended up giving them an entire reshoot. So it's like, it really comes with any business. And it's just, and thankfully we haven't had any like situations where people haven't been happy at mood, you know, with our work. And, you know, maybe it's just that you have to, you know, it's just one of those things when you launch a business, you kind of have to go through. And
even as a creator though, you know, like
Yeah.
I think that holds a lot of people back from showing up online and creating content because they're scared of those negative comments. But like, I promise you, we get them, we're still here, it's worth it, just do it,
Yeah.
get your coin. Like,
period.
you have to just drown out that noise.
On the other hand, at Mood, really exciting things have been happening.
A lot of changes have happened at Mood, for
and
the better.
And it feels so good.
For the good, yeah.
We just hired an additional social media manager. So, like, that's really crazy. Like, and I don't feel like we've fully even kind of digested what that means and what that is, but we've, you know, we're growing. The team is growing. Like, this is, you know, we're adding a paid position to the team. And
as a team that's so small, like, any additional position is a big deal for us.
Huge deal.
Yeah, especially when we're still not paying ourselves.
Yeah.
That's changing soon.
You know, you gotta fucking spend money to make money, honestly, and that's kind of where we're at. You know, we've reached a place where we're like, damn, if we take on one more client, the team is the ball is gonna start being dropped. So we're onboarding her in the next couple weeks, and we're so excited. We're so confident in her. She's based out of Miami, and really just excited for this new addition.
And she's very aligned, and like even in our interview process and just the people that we've been hiring lately, like even a follower who will become a friend, I'm sure, that we just hired for our Poshmark assistant, and then our new personal assistant, and you know, doing customer service for Zoe and Michaela. Like everyone who we've hired in the past month or so has been so aligned with us, and it's just like crazy.
Like the universe is like putting these people in our paths to like help us pave our way to success. Like it's crazy.
And especially after like going through years of interviewing and hiring people that weren't so aligned, to get to a place where it's like we manifested them and they manifested us. You know what I mean?
It's like and like being on these interviews, and like I won't, you know, I hate to be like, it's an ego boost, but like people are so excited for the opportunity to like work with us and work with Mood and work with SOAM, like, and that it really is such a like having people excited to work with you because they know your work, like your work ethic, your community, like
everything you have going on, and they
trust you,
and they want to be a part of it. I think it's just flattering because it's like, oh, you see what we're doing and you want to get in.
Yeah, and you think it's cool. Yeah, it's like I think it's cool too, but it's like it's so nice that you also think it's so validating. And that's been a really, really cool thing to see in our entrepreneurial journeys. It's like, you know, we used to have to like be digging through the fucking mud to find a diamond in the rough, and now the diamonds are like lining up at our front door. Yeah, and I also think that something that we care so much about is like company culture and making sure that like we have a team that meshes and vibes, and you know that we feel so like confident, almost like friends. Yeah, and like we want to, you know, people that like we would be friends with, that we like trust, and like really trust, and like know that we can be 100% vulnerable and show up 100% ourselves, because that's all we could ask for. Yeah, and we just work together every day on such a close basis. It's so important to like enjoy the people you work with. So to have these people who are like just so aligned is such a good feeling. And and I don't know, it feels good because, you know, we work really hard in all of our projects and everything we do, and it's moments like that where I feel like, okay, this is paying off. You know what I mean? 100%. So very exciting. Yeah, things are moving, things are growing. Even like the amount of clients that have come just strictly from referrals and from our network and just people we know. Like we are not getting any clients that aren't from our network, and that's even a great feeling because it feels like, okay, the past 5 years of modeling, influencing, all the other shit I did before this, like networking, is paying off for this moment, and it's so cool to see that evolution too. For sure, and it's just like it's validating in these clients that we're speaking with, and it's like we're not even doing outreach to like random clients. Really, you know, we're only, you know, speaking to people that are coming through word of mouth, who already know us and our work ethic and know like how seriously we take
Mhm.
everything that we do. And there's a few really fun opportunities coming up, and I'm hoping that this client that we want for mood signs, because
Fingers
it would be really fun, I think.